do startups have to stay? Nischita Veerendra gets us the mood in Bengaluru. Take a look.
Well, since the focus this year has largely been on digital economy as well as the semi-rural and the rural sectors, the startup community in Bengaluru is not very impressed with Arun Jaitley's budget. Let's quickly talk to a few startup community founders right here in the city and ask them as to what they really think of the budget. I'm joined in by Shavinder as well as Santosh right here with me from Follow Class as well as Spotplay. Well, Shavinder, first I'll come to you. Your takeaway from the budget, what did you think about it?
Yeah, I think starting with positives, I think it was interesting announcements for fintech companies, especially with Aadhaar Pay and special RBI rules governing body decided for all the fintech wallet companies. So for them, there is interesting movements there. And also the tax relaxations of 50 crores, if we can reach that part, we believe very few people will take advantage of that. But still I was expecting more, continuing from the startup India that they launched last year. That is kind of put on hold. We are not sure where those funds are, how. And I was expecting more towards on those lines, at least in this budget. So yeah, slightly disappointed with that.
Okay, slightly disappointed. Well, Santosh, how would you like to put it? Did you see your expectations fulfilled? We did talk to you right before the budget as well, and you said that you were looking for some tax relaxations, especially with import of goods for manufacturing right here in India. So did you see that happening in this budget?
It's not there, right? So it's been disappointing since that the big announcement last year by Modi ji about Startup India policy. We haven't seen that percolate to the startups yet, and now we were hoping something to come from the budget side. Now there's a push on the GST also, right, which is actually increasing the commodity prices for us. We being a technology startup, both on the hardware and software side, it becomes really hard for us to get the tax benefits, which is at 50 crore. I mean, obviously, if I reach 50 crores, I wouldn't be looking at budget shops, right? Today, there's no particular. India is big into entrepreneurship, so we were expecting the government to push more and more shops to upcoming entrepreneurs, because we would obviously want more people to get employed, right? If you're looking at an unemployment rate here, so that has to come down. That will only happen through the entrepreneurship, right? And there's no shops, which is given at 50 crores. What's for something like us, right? We are just starting up, and there are no funds available from the government side. Even the Karnataka startup policy is the only sort of a shining light for us, but there's nothing from the national side. There was a fund of funds which has not been disbursed. We are trying to get registered for the as a startup in India, but that is still not there. The certificate hasn't come in, so I don't see any positive at all for a startup community. We're just going on our own, right? We're just swimming on our own here.
Right, and also Mr. Arun Jaitley has focused this time on market-related training for many of the youth coming from the semi-rural as well as the rural sector. Do you think that is a positive move, and that will enable the startup community as well? You will find talent emerging from the semi-rural areas as well?
I mean, these policies will take time for implementation, right? We've seen Startup India over a year now. Last year, January, it was announced. We haven't seen even a single entity getting benefit out of it, right, in India. So this policy is announced now, so we don't know how long it will take for, because you're talking about skill development. Skill development doesn't happen overnight. You're talking about rural and semi-rural. How do I go and employ people there, right? If I have to get them here, I should have enough wherewithal to survive my company, right? So that's a long-term solution that is there, but what's there in the short term for us to even survive here?
Well, there you have it. The startup community in Bengaluru not very impressed with what Arun Jaitley had to offer through his briefcase this morning. In Bengaluru with video journalist Padmanabha Rao, Nischita, WION.